Shame on this government.
Mike Saban.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I think the previous member was following the philosophy that if you say it loud enough, it must be true, Mr Chairman. But the reality is, he also alluded to the fact that this bill is a disgrace. Well, I'll tell you, Mr Chair, what is a disgrace. I'm telling you, Mr Chair, what is a disgrace. What is a disgrace?
Bring the chair into the debate.
I will say to members and also the Chair what is a disgrace, Mr Chair, and that is making members of the New Zealand public beholden to the government to ensure that they can make their way into the next election and secure themselves a place on the government benches. Because that's what happened across 9 years of a Labor administration. We've also heard about the words coming from the other side about punishment and about discrimination. This is not disgrace, not punishment, not discrimination, Mr Chairman. This is about creating opportunity. Because if you go out there and talk to employers, they will tell you, sir, that they want to employ young people. But they'll also explain that when you consider the total remuneration of any employee, it's not just about the hourly rate. It's also about sick leave. It's also about annual leave. It's also about ACC levies. And when you consider all of that in the mix, there are a number of businesses who simply cannot afford to take on a young person who has low skills, a lack of experience, and arguably there's a disconnect between them and what is required of the employer. And that, Mr Chair, has cost some 9,000 jobs since 2008 when the minimum wage was removed. A 42% reduction over 5 years of 15 to 19-year-olds in employment. And that is what is a disgrace here, Mr Chairman. And what this bill sets out to do is actually challenge that and find the settings that will marry employers and employees back together, in particular those in that youth area who we know, if they do not find their way into some form of training or meaningful employment at that age, there is a very high likelihood at the age of 18 they will transition onto an adult benefit and likely stay there for some period of time. And this bill is specifically aiming at ensuring that the employers have the settings that they need to take a chance on that young person, sir. And I believe, and certainly even yesterday, Mr Chair, in my constituent office, 2 people came to me literally pulling their hair out, wanting to employ local people, in particular young people, and give them a chance. But they cannot get those young people. They cannot get those young people because those young people are disconnected from a work ethic. They are disconnected from the sort of skills. This is what they are telling me. This is what... If those members want to come and sit in my electorate office and listen to employees in Northland who want to employ young people, local people, they will hear this for themselves, Mr Chairman. Those young people are disconnected from what employers need. It is not that the employers aren't trying to reach out to them. And this bill is about providing the appropriate incentives and platform for employers to seek out those opportunities with the young people. It's not compulsory. It's an arrangement between the employer and the employee, and it's over a 6-month period. And we've heard comments about the fact that this will displace other workers. Well, I can also tell you, sir, that employers very quickly identify the value in an employee, and those employees are valued by the employer. There's an intrinsic relationship between a successful business between the employer and the employee. And good employees that show initiative, that are given a chance and that demonstrate the ability, advance their way through that business. The business relies on good employees, Mr Chair. And so this is not about displacing, it's about providing opportunity at an entry point. And that is a distinct difference. But time and time again, we hear, in particular from the Labor Party, that this is about punishment, it's about discrimination, it's disgraceful. Well, it's the entire opposite to those things, Mr Chairman. Because when members here actually took time to step out from behind their parliamentary desks and talk to employees and employers, what they will find is that it's about providing the opportunity and backing these young people and giving employers a chance to see whether or not they can make the grade. And it then becomes to the employee to show that they can. but they need the chance. 9,000 jobs across 5 years, Mr Chairman, is unacceptable.
Denise Roche.
Mr Chairman, we seem to have this attitude that we are a benign country, that we love our kids.